this video, I am going to answer the 10 most important questions that artists ask about using solvent with colored pencils. And as I answer these questions, I'm going to share with you some awesome hacks and how I specifically use solvent in my own work. Now, on to the first question. What is solvent and how does it work? Solvents are used with a variety of different art materials, including oil paints, oil pastels, and colored pencils. And this solvent is responsible for breaking down the binder that holds the pigments in the art supplies together. When solvent is used with colored pencils, it breaks that binder down, allowing you to move the pigment around on the page a little bit easier. When you blend with solvent, you're able to mix your colors together a little bit more and fill in those little white speckles in the paper without burnishing. Are solvents safe to use? Solvents are toxic materials, but there are several products available that have the very lowest level of toxicity. If you select a safe product and you use it carefully in a well-ventilated space, then yes, solvents are safe to use. The most toxic part of the solvent are the aromatic and chlorinated hydrocarbons. These compounds are what make it smell bad. So when you are selecting a solvent, make sure that it has the lowest percentage of these harmful chemicals possible and that it doesn't emit a strong, offensive chemical odor. In addition to selecting the safest solvent possible, here are 3 more tips for you to use solvent safely. Number 1, use it in a well-ventilated space. Make sure that you have a lot of new air flowing into your workspace when you have your solvent open. You can move your workspace next to a window or have a fan on to really make sure that that air is circulating as much as possible. Number 2, avoid contact with your skin. Now, the safest supplies out there should not be able to be absorbed by healthy skin, but you do want to exercise caution, especially if you have really dry, unhealthy skin or you have cracks or abrasions. Number 3, seal your container when it's not in use. When you have the lid open, those chemicals are going to evaporate into the air in your studio or in your workspace, and you have the opportunity for more spills. So whenever you are not actively using the solvent, make sure that you secure that lid on to avoid any big spills or avoid breathing more solvent than you need to. Which solvent should I use? As already discussed, you want to select a solvent that has the lowest percentage of toxic chemicals possible. And since you are using this supply on your fine art, you want to make sure that you're also purchasing a product from a reputable fine art company. Some of my favorites include Gamsol by Gamblin, the Nuetral Thin by Eco House, and the Extra Mild Citrus Thinner by Eco House as well. All of these solvents have had those aromatic hydrocarbons refined out so that less than 0.005% remain. And based on my research, these are the safest solvents available. As far as performance goes, the Gamsol by Gamblin and the Nuetral Thin by Eco House perform very similarly, and both are completely odorless. Both of these products blend the colored pencil very evenly and smoothly and are quite effective. The Extra Mild Citrus Thinner by Eco House has an addition of food grade orange peel in it, which actually intensifies the solvency. And it also adds this orangey smell that is kind of nice while you're using it. If you are interested in trying this, I would highly recommend it. I've really enjoyed using it so far, but I honestly haven't been using it for very long yet. Why should I use solvent? As previously stated, the solvent breaks down the binder in your colored pencils, which loosens up the pigment a little bit. I like to use solvent in the early stages of my drawing after I have applied a layer of color over the entire area, because it allows me to move the pigment into those little white speckles, and it allows me to kind of eliminate that sketchy look early on without burnishing or pressing too hard. You might try blending with solvent if you are consistently and unintentionally getting a grainy or an uneven look in your work. You might also consider trying solvent if you would like to speed up your process overall, or if you would like a little bit more control in your blending from one color to another. When should I use solvent? I like to start the majority of my colored pencil pieces by applying initial color to the entire surface. I usually select a small number of pencils and I map in the color and value in a very general way. During this phase, I use a medium amount of pressure and I pass over each area in my drawing multiple times. Even those areas that are light in value, I still take a light value colored pencil like a white or a cream and I pass over that area as well. Once I have a decent amount of colored pencil coverage, I blend with solvent. It is important that you have enough material on your surface before you add solvent, because if you don't have enough material down, your solvent won't have enough to interact with and it won't do anything. On the flip side, solvent will still work and have an effect if you have too much material down, but it might be a bit more difficult to control and to work with. After I blend out with solvent, I let it dry completely before working on it again with colored pencils. This often takes at least 15 to 20 minutes depending on the type of paper, but I will often leave my drawing out in the garage overnight just to get the remaining toxic chemicals to evaporate off of my work, so I won't be exposed to those when I come back in with my next layer. I typically do 2 rounds of colored pencil and solvent and then finish with a colored pencil layer that is not blended with solvent. So that goes colored pencil, solvent, final colored pencil. But you can repeat the process as many times as you wish, providing that there is still tooth to the paper and that your pencils still stick to the surface. If you're enjoying this video, would you please give it a thumbs up? That really helps the algorithm show these videos to more artists. What should I store solvent in? Because solvent is a toxic chemical, it's important that you store it safely. This means storing it in a sturdy container that has a lid that seals completely. The bottle that your solvent comes in is safe for it to store in, but if you use your solvent directly out of this jar or bottle, it's going to make your solvent dirty over time. To avoid this issue, I store my solvent in a separate container, and I like to use these that are intended for food storage because they're really thick, durable plastic that can hold up in a dishwasher, and they are airtight and leak-proof, which is ideal for storing a solvent. Now, when you're working with a plastic, you want to make sure that you don't get any cracks or wear, and when you do notice those, that you replace it right away. Glass jars are also really great for storing your solvent in. But make sure that your jar is clear so that you're always aware of how much you have left and how clean your solvent is. I put a sponge in the bottom of my solvent jar because it acts as an abrasive surface that I can use to clean my brush off, and it also ensures that I only pull out a small amount at a time. To make a sponge fit in the bottom of your solvent jar, simply cut your sponge to size and place it in the bottom. Then fill up your jar with solvent so that your sponge is completely soaked, but that the solvent doesn't come above the sponge. I like to label my solvent jar as well so I know exactly what is in there. How should I use solvent? Although there are several tools that you can use to apply solvent to your paper, like blending stumps or cotton swabs, I typically defer to a paintbrush. Now, I use really ratty old paintbrushes with soft bristles that allow me to apply quite a bit of pressure while I am drawing, or while I am working the solvent into the paper rather, but that aren't going to scratch up what I have on my surface. So what I found is that a soft, short bristle works best. To apply to my drawing, I take my brush and I lightly dip it in the solvent. I just want to wet my brush. I don't want my brush dripping with the solvent. Then I move to my project and I work the solvent into the paper in small circles, being careful to work in one family of colors at a time. To avoid mixing colors that I have no intention of mixing, I make sure to wipe my brush off on a paper towel before I apply solvent into an area with a significantly different color. How should I dispose of my used solvent? You definitely don't ever want to dump your solvent down the drain, pour it outside, or toss it in the garbage. Doing so can pose some serious health risks to you and your community by polluting your groundwater. And it can also be really dangerous because this is a very flammable supply and you don't want it just baking in a hot garbage can. If you need to dispose of solvent, you need to do it at a hazardous waste site or at a hazardous waste collection event. Now, my thinking is that a lot of people dispose of their solvent irresponsibly because they find it to be too much of a hassle to go to these hazardous waste collection sites. But if you use your solvent strategically, you will never ever have to go to a hazardous waste site because you will responsibly and safely use up all of your solvent and won't have to dispose of any. So here are my tips for doing that. One strategy is to just pour a small amount of your solvent into another container and use it all up with a project. Then wipe out the container, possibly let it air dry outside, and then refill that clean container up with new solvent when you're ready to do another project. If you do it this way, you are always using clean solvent and always using all of your solvent. If at some point you need to dispose of the container that you store your solvent in, just use up the rest of that solvent, let the container air dry outside, and then you can throw it in the trash. It's safe to throw dried containers in the trash. It's just not safe to throw a container with that flammable liquid inside of it in the garbage can. Now, if your solvent has gotten dirty because you didn't know about this tip of pouring it into another container, or you were just using it directly out of the container itself, you can set the solvent on a shelf for maybe a few weeks or even months, and eventually all of that pigment is going to settle to the bottom so that you'll have clear solvent on top and then all that gross stuff lower down in your jar. In this situation, you can take that clean solvent, pour it off the top, and then just allow that pigment to settle, and you'll never have to use that contaminated portion. Once you've used it all up, you can again let it dry outside and then throw that mucky dried out pigment away with the container and just don't use it that way again. When I'm using my solvent, I have a paper towel nearby just in case I get a little too much solvent on my brush or I need to wipe up a little bit that got on the handle of my brush. There is so little solvent on these particular paper towels that I feel comfortable throwing them directly in the trash. But if you are picking up large amounts of solvent with your rag, this is more common for oil painters, but might happen for a colored pencil artist if you've had a large spill on the ground, then you do need to do your research and dispose of these rags safely and responsibly. Make sure that you don't store them in an area that they might catch fire. Be really mindful and careful about that, and just be preventative. Do everything that you can to avoid a big spill. Is there a special kind of paper that I need to use with solvent? Solvent is compatible with many different drawing surfaces and can be used to blend colored pencil on a variety of different papers, but you want to make sure that the paper that you select is sturdy and durable. If you are selecting a traditional drawing paper, I would recommend using a 100% cotton paper because the fibers are more durable, stronger, and softer, which is more compatible with the use of solvent. You can also use solvent to blend on a Bristol paper, a Bristol board, or an illustration board. But I would make sure that you test to see how it works on a new surface before you invest several hours in a new project. A couple papers that solvent is just not compatible with include printer paper, thin sketchbook or drawing paper, or any thin flimsy surface that is very absorbent that the solvent is just going to leak right through. In addition to cotton papers, solvent is also very compatible with PASTELMAT. Now, PASTELMAT is a little different surface, and I actually recommend using a little bit less solvent on this particular surface. But if you want to see that in action, make sure you definitely check out my PASTELMAT video, again, linked in the notes below. Solvent is also a very useful supply when you are working with colored pencils on sanded paper. But the sanded paper actually kind of grinds up your pencil a little differently than when you just apply colored pencils onto a traditional cotton paper. And because the pencils sit on your paper differently, they respond to the solvent very differently. What I've noticed when I add even just a small amount of solvent to colored pencil on sanded paper is that it starts moving around my pigment almost like paint. And this can have some really cool painterly effects, but it also can be very startling if you aren't expecting it. So I definitely recommend doing some tests before you apply solvent to a colored pencil project on sanded paper. And if you are interested in learning how to use colored pencil on sanded paper, you definitely want to check out my online course, Introduction to Classical Colored Pencil Painting, where I take you through an entire still life project beginning to end with highly detailed video tutorials and virtual critiques. What colored pencils can I use? I personally have used many different kinds of colored pencils with solvent and have had great results with all of them. The colored pencils that I have personally used with solvent include Prismacolor Premiers, Caran Luminance colored pencils, Caran Pablo colored pencils, Derwent drawing pencils, Derwent Lightfast pencils. There's probably more that I can't think of right off the top of my head, but I've used a ton and they all work great with solvent. I wouldn't expect that you would have phenomenal results adding solvent to a craft type colored pencil like a Crayola pencil, but that should be just a non-starter because you shouldn't be using those cheap craft supplies for fine art anyway. Although all artist grade colored pencils can be blended very effectively with solvent, it is worth mentioning that some very bright colors can change color pretty significantly when you add solvent to them. I have noticed this effect most strongly in the magentas, pinks, purples, and those really vibrant blues. So for me, I really like this. I think it's fun to kind of get that surprise of what color is it going to look like exactly. But if you don't like surprises when you're working on your color pencil pieces, you might consider making a color chart where you color in the color the way it is, just raw, and then you do another swatch of that color blended with solvent so that you can see and anticipate what's going to happen to that color as you work. I really appreciate you taking the time to learn about solvent with me today. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.